In today's world, the pace of change is so rapid and work is evolving so quickly that your current skill set can quickly and easily become outdated. If you're not constantly looking for ways to upskill and keep refreshing or reinventing yourself, you can find yourself getting left behind or getting passed up for some of the new emerging roles that technology is creating in the fourth industrial age. Now, most companies are adopting agile methodologies or agile ways of working to ensure that they can keep up with the pace of change. Now, with this change, we're hearing new roles springing up like agile coaches, scrum masters, product owners, etc. So in this video, I will explain what these new roles entail, and for those of you who might be interested in making the career shift, I'll explain the types of certifications that can prepare you for such roles, and at a very high level, I'll share the salary ranges associated with the most popular agile roles and career opportunities. If you're ready, then cue the intro. Hello friends, my name is Jeremy, and on this channel I speak about agile transformation, digital strategy, and personal development. Good to have you back. It's a well-known fact that technology is causing a change in the jobs and roles that we usually see in the corporate spaces. A lot of the operational and repetitive roles and tasks are being automated, and the staff who were formerly performing those roles are being redeployed to other roles that require more skill, more creativity, and critical thinking. But what happens when your role stands the risk of being disrupted by automation, yet you don't have any other skill sets that can be transferred? Now, the simple answer to that is you become redundant. I had a friend who worked in a manufacturing company that undertook a massive automation restructure because the very same workers were complaining of overly manual processes, stressful working conditions, and injuries in the warehouses. Now, the automation of these manual processes meant that the workers could now be redeployed to more strategic functions and enjoy some much deserved career growth. However, there were now more staff than roles, and the company had to undertake several screening interviews to ensure that workers had the required skills for the new roles. And it was then that my friend unfortunately realized he really had no skills that were applicable to the new ways of working, and because of that, he had to take a redundancy package and leave the company. Now, going forward, we are sure to be hearing more stories like these as businesses are looking to become more agile, more flexible in the way they deliver products and services. Now, fortunately for my friend, he did not sit at home idle, wallowing in self-pity. He picked himself up and immediately signed up for a number of project management courses, and within 1 year, he reapplied to his former company and he was rehired as a project coordinator. Now, this leads me to some of the new roles that have sprung up and are associated with Agile and Scrum. Now, Agile and Scrum are simply project management methodologies and frameworks that are adopted to improve the speed and efficiency of the delivery of complex services and products. Now, I have a full video linked above for those interested in knowing more about Agile and Scrum. Now, Scrum recognizes three main roles, which are the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the development team. Now, these roles can be standalone roles or complementary roles. And what I mean by that is you can have a person whose entire role is Scrum Master, or you can have someone who has a main specialization and an additional Agile role. For example, I used to be a retail banker and a Scrum Master. I have a friend who's an interior designer and a project manager, and a mentor of mine is a CEO and a product owner. So regardless of whether you have a main specialization or not, you can take any of these agile roles. Now, the role of a product owner, as the name suggests, is to own the product on behalf of the business stakeholders. The product owner guides the project in the right direction by setting out the vision and prioritizing the requirements or backlog. The product owner maximizes the value of product and services created by the Scrum team and also the development team. And he does this by clearly articulating the sprint goals, ensuring that the product backlog is clearly visible and shows exactly what the team will be working on next. Now, in order for you to become a very effective product owner, there are certain key skills that you require, such as excellent communication, domain expertise, the ability to collaborate with stakeholders towards achieving a desired goal. Now, next is the Scrum Master. Now, the Scrum Master is one of the most popular roles you hear in Agile and Scrum. It's probably because it has the word master in it. Now, the role of the Scrum Master is to be a servant leader to the Scrum team. He is the go-to person and expert on Scrum rules and the Scrum framework. So he helps the team to be more productive by removing any kinds of blockers or impediments to the team's progress. The Scrum Master also facilitates meetings wherever necessary and helps the team to self-organize, as well as helping the product owner to maximize return on investment. Now, in order to be an effective Scrum Master, you will also be required to have excellent communication skills, active listening skills, the ability to coach, the ability to mediate conflict, and also leadership skills. Now, the Scrum Master is essentially the glue that holds the Agile team together. Then comes the development team. Now, these are the people that actually do the work. Now, the development team can be made up of software developers, designers, writers, engineers, testers, etc. However, Scrum lumps all of these roles as part of the development team, and this is because they are expected to be cross-functional and self-organizing. They're supposed to have the type of skills that can help each other to deliver the goals of a sprint. Now, their primary function is to build a potentially releasable increment by collaborating with both the Scrum Master and the product owner. Now, in addition to these three mentioned roles, you may have heard of a role known as the Agile Coach, which is also very similar to the Scrum Master. Now, the main difference between the two roles is in the scope of their work. While the Scrum Master is focused on a single Scrum team and just the Scrum framework, the Agile Coach is focused on ensuring that the entire organization is practicing the Agile methodologies, and he trains the various corporate teams on Agile. What this means is his knowledge is not limited to just one framework, but to multiple. Now, nowadays, you find that most chief digital officers, most chief innovation officers, most CIOs usually serve concurrently as Agile coaches. Now, finally, to the interesting part, which is how much you're likely to earn as an Agile or Scrum professional. But first, in order to be acknowledged as an Agile practitioner, you first need to get certified. Now, similar to the ACCA or CFA in finance, there are two primary certification bodies for Scrum, which are Scrum.org and Scrum Alliance. Now, both of these were created by the original founders of the Scrum Guide. Once you get certified, your market value goes up and you can now be called a Scrum Master or Agile Coach or Product Owner, etc. When it comes to the salary ranges, according to payscale.com, the average salary of an Agile coach is in the range of $122,000 per year. And this obviously goes higher or lower depending on the number of years experience you have. When it comes to Scrum Masters, the figure according to Glassdoor is averagely $97,000 and goes all the way up to $132,000 on the high end. And finally, for product owners, the average salary ranges between $86,000 all the way up to $122,000. Now, unfortunately, these salary ranges are not available online for Ghana, but at least what this tells you is if you decide to get an Agile certification in order to work overseas in the US or Canada, the opportunities are available and you already know the potential remuneration packages. So friends, I'll end by saying that Agile is not something you do, but rather something you become. As more and more companies become more agile, it's important that you as an individual also make the effort to be proactive in upskilling and becoming agile as well. Now, if you found this video valuable, remember to like and subscribe if you already haven't done so, And please drop a comment on what stood out the most to you, or if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Talk later. Cheers, guys.